What's up, everybody? My name's Christian and we're here at South by Southwest. We're seeing a lot of virtual reality products on demonstration here, like the Oculus Rift and other full body motion controllers, and we got to talk to some developers using games featuring these, as well as the makers of some of these products. Check it out.
All right, so I'm here with Mark and Vince, Glow Stick Games. They're here showing off their Oculus Rift game at the South by Southwest Gaming Expo. So tell us a little bit about your game and what's gone into it and what you're showing off here.
So basically, we're taking a classic design of Pac-Man and applying a horror theme to it. So you start off in these maze-like environments. Your goal is to collect a series of objects. We call them shards. They're essentially similar to the Pac-Man pellets, but they lead to the exit when you collect all of them, and while you're doing that, monsters are pursuing you. You get a set number of lives, and there is an actual story arc that leads the player on from the beginning of the game to the end. That's written by a pretty good writer, Mike Lee, who did a Tom Clancy series, Ghost Recon, a few other things. And we just wanted to kind of revitalize and renew an old design and kind of fit it with something we love, which is horror movies and the horror genre. I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Not really.
Okay. So you say it's kind of like stemming from this idea of Pac-Man and putting a new twist on it. What made you decide to include the Oculus Rift as part of your design process and the way to interact with it?
So the first time we tried an Oculus Rift, it was actually my roommate's device. I moved in with him, he let me try it. I was 100% convinced that in 2 years' time, everyone who considers themselves a gamer and plays first-person games is going to own one and is going to want to use it on everything. And we really we want to be on the first wave of that. We want to be supporting it. And so we didn't design the game for that, but we absolutely support it, and we really think it's a superior experience.
Awesome. So with the Oculus Rift, we've been seeing a lot of motion control as well too. Is that also a technology that you guys as developers and stuff are looking into moving forward with your company?
So if you look at motion control, it's been really widely accepted by the less intense hardcore core gamer crowd. And so the core gamer crowd likes to have really fast responses, really twitch reflexes, really immersive gameplay like that. And flailing around doesn't tend to give that to people. I don't think motion controls is there yet. And I don't think a lot of gamers want to use motion controls as the only input. We are considering implementing some motion controls like the Omni treadmill, but we're always going to support keyboard, mouse, and controller as the basic primary control scheme, just because a lot of people don't want more than that.
Well, there is some hardware that looks promising. I believe it's called the Razer. I've seen it recently. I'm not sure which company is behind it, but it looks like it's motion controls with your hands that are designed to work with the Oculus. I'll probably follow that a little more just to see how it kind of pans out. So there's definitely some interest there if it works out pretty well and it feels natural in the gameplay. But it's still something that's developing and nobody's really nailed it yet, so we just kind of have to wait and see. And we'll try to make the best of what's available.
Okay, awesome. That's Glow Stick Games with their Oculus Rift game. What's the game called again?
Dark Deception.
Dark Deception. Thanks a lot for the interview.
So this is Omni, a virtual reality movement device. What made you, what drove you to create this? Are you a big fan of the virtual reality market?
Sure, so the inspiration behind the Omni is actually when the Kinect came out. So when the Microsoft Kinect came out, it was the first motion capture device that could be in your living room that was reliable but also cost effective and you could play games with. But there's a core problem with motion capture in terms of walking, what we call locomotion. So how do you walk in the virtual world without actually running into the walls of your home or running into your furniture? And so that's what the Omni's inspiration is. Okay, now you can walk naturally while your motion's being captured. And so we're developing it so that the Omni can be played with any PC game. So you'll hear us playing with Team Fortress 2, Half-Life 2, videos on our website of us playing Call of Duty and Battlefield, Skyrim, Minecraft, Second Life. Really, if it's on the PC, we can play on the Omni.
And can you tell us how the Omni actually works? How you can change direction and all that stuff?
Sure. So what you're going to be standing in is actually a frictionless bowl, pretty much. And so as you're walking, you're wearing shoes of the same type of material on the bottom of the shoe. And so as you put your weight in your forward foot, your feet just want to slide back towards the center. And so by doing that, it's mimicking a treadmill without any moving parts. And we have a support ring on the top that allows you to move in any direction while putting your weight forward. And so this is what's allowing us to, again, walk in any direction and walk how fast you want, either slow, fast, it really doesn't make a difference.
Okay. And I see you're using an Oculus Rift for it too. Do you plan to implement the Oculus Rift and the Kinect when you release the product, or do you plan to try to create it all as one Omni product itself?
So we're going to be very open source. So you can use any type of display with the Omni, whether it be a flat panel, curved displays, projections, but also head-mounted displays. So the Oculus Rift is definitely the most consumer-ready right now, but it's not going to be the only one on the market. For example, Sony's about to introduce their own at GDC coming up soon, and we're also going to be having cell phones as your head-mounted display. That is a really big innovation. You're basically going to take your phone, put it in a holder, it's going to be your console as well as your display. And it can Bluetooth connect to other devices, Android controllers, so that's the future of these head-mounted displays.
Okay, this all sounds really awesome, and you said it's for the PC. Do you have any plans to try to implement a model that could be used for consoles?
So we are looking at console support. There's no plans in the future right now for it, even though, again, we're still researching it. It's mainly because, again, this virtual reality revolution is PC-based. Whether it be these head-mounted displays or hand controllers, anything, it's all PC-based right now. And so that's our core audience.
Okay. And one final question, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Do you have any projected release date?
So right now we're taking pre-orders online, and then our projected release date is June of this year.
June of this year, wow, okay. Well, thank you for talking with us. I'm here with Paul Yost, the Chief R&D Officer, is that correct?
Chief of Research and
Chief
Development.
of Research and Development of YEI Technology, and they're here to show off their Prio VR system. Now, Paul, can you tell us what exactly the Prio VR system is?
Yes, Prio VR is essentially a full-body motion tracking suit that we're gearing towards virtual reality or immersive gaming applications. So essentially, as you move your body, it'll track your motion really, really accurately and with very low latency in kind of this one-to-one fashion to put your body into that game or virtual reality system.
Okay, so how, like, in terms of other VR products on the market right now, how does the Prio VR compare? How does it stand out from the others?
Essentially, in the motion tracking, body tracking market, there are a couple ways that we stand out. If you compare us to other optical-based systems or magnetic systems, ours allows this kind of high accuracy, low latency combination that you can't get with an optical or a magnetic system, and it also allows this kind of complete freedom that, unlike an optical system where you have this limited capture space, since our system is all self-contained and wireless, you could walk anywhere you want and have it track those things very accurately, virtually unlimited capture space without any special lighting requirements or anything like that. The other thing that we stand out, there are other inertial tracking systems out there, but those other inertial tracking systems are very costly. Where we're in our Kickstarter here, all of our systems, including the professional grade one, are under $400, which that system performance-wise is comparable to systems that are like $60,000 and up. And so we're kind of changing the game when it comes to that inertial body tracking technology.
Okay. And do you plan to release it for PC, console? What type of gaming systems do you plan to try to release it for?
Initially, with our first release, it's going to be PC. We have talked to console manufacturers about support. Some of those are a little bit harder than others to get into because they have competing technology, specifically the Xbox. But there are other console manufacturers who have seemed very interested in seeing how our Kickstarter does and then interested in talking to us. They've already talked to us about providing some kind of support for the technology that we have here. So we'll see how that plays out, but if we have a big enough community that's using it and interested in that, it's hard to, I think it's going to be hard to see that not move into those other areas, the console areas. So.
Okay, one last question. We don't want to take up too much of your time because it's pretty busy here. Is there any projected release date or any news on when we might be able to see more of this product?
Yeah, the Prio VR, we have a Kickstarter going on right now. We're about halfway through that campaign. We've already met our funding goal, but the more people that can support it, the better. And the technology is already developed. It's already pretty solid. Like I said, we've been doing inertial sensors for the last 5 years or so. So what we expect, though, for the Kickstarter supporters, those initial units will ship sometime late June, early July is our estimated ship date this year. So, and then the mass-produced numbers to shortly follow. Definitely by August, September, we'll have mass-produced numbers ready for consumers. So pretty quick turn time. So by fall, we'll see these systems be available for people to use at home.
Okay.
And for the Kickstarter supporters, quicker than that. So.
Okay, well, thank you for talking with us, Paul. This looks really awesome.